the switchblade home, that's a life misspent. The boombox heavy, D batteries fully packed. We settle neighborhood beefs on the vinyl track. No brass knuckles shining under the yellow street light. Just a fat lace sneaker stepping into the fight. The crowd forms a circle, closing in tight. Adrenaline pumping through the middle of the night. Step into the cypher if you think you got the juice. Cut the violence loose, let the rhythm produce. A battle of the bodies, not a battle of the steel. Top rock to the down rock, showing how you feel. He caught you with a freeze, now you gotta reply. Ain't nobody catching bullets, ain't nobody gonna die. Sweat dripping down while the breakbeat spins. The one with the smoothest footwork is the one who wins. Spinning like a windmill, defying the ground. We letting out the anger through the heavy bass sound. Popping and locking, snapping joints to the snare. Taking all the aggression and throwing it in the air. You claim you run the block, well prove it on the floor. Let the rhythm be the judge and settle up the score. When the music finally, when the music finally, when the music finally, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When the music finally cuts and the boombox dies. When the music finally cuts and the boombox dies. When the music finally cuts and the boombox dies, there's mutual respect looking in each other's eyes. We shake hands in the alley, breathing heavy and deep. A peaceful resolution while the rest of the city sleeps. No sirens wailing, no mothers left to cry. Just a legendary cipher underneath the midnight sky. We took the street war and we turned it to an art, trading out the malice for the passion in the heart. This is how the legends do it, keeping the peace until the break of dawn when the heavy rhythms cease. Stepping on the concrete, yeah. Just stepping on the stepping on the concrete. The heavy denim drags, we ain't wearing fitted suits. We reppin' in the bags, oversized aesthetic. The fabric sweeping the floor, walking like a heavyweight. Right out the corner store, 42 waistline, hanging on the 30 frame, belt buckle tight. Just to navigate the game, the cuffs getting frayed where they scrape against the street, falling perfectly above a fresh pair of crisp white feet. It's the armor of the avenue, the uniform of the block. We moving in the rhythm while the heavy boom bap knock. Nylon on the shoulders, a vintage sports coat, zipping up the collar right below the vocal throat. Block colors clashing, the red, the yellow, the blue. A walking piece of canvas when the crew is rolling through. They tailor for the athletes running on the track, but we took the windbreakers and we brought the flavor back. Wind whipping heavy, but the nylon shields the chest, representing for the culture, putting everybody to the test. The baggy silhouette makes a phantom out of man, moving through the alleyways according to the plan. Pockets deep enough to hold whatever you conceal, walking with a swagger that is undeniably real. You hear the fabric swish every time I take a stride, a symphony of cotton and the polyester pride. Ain't no skinny trousers restricting up the move. We need the extra breathing room to settle in the groove. The sports jacket shining under yellow street lamps, stamped with the logos of the heavyweight champs. From the boroughs to the beaches, the style is uniform. A heavy weather jacket for the socio-economic storm. I pop the crisp collar, block the midnight breeze, sagging down the denim right below the damn knees. They see us on the corner and they try to bite the look, but we wrote the definition in the underground book. The starter jacket gleaming with the satin on the sleeve, the type of heavy garment making everybody believe. It ain't about the runway, it ain't about the high class. It's about the heavy fabric stepping on the broken glass. We taking sports apparel, flipping it to streetwear, showing all the upper crust that we simply don't care. The zipper strictly halfway, exposing the gold chain, standing like a monument inside the freezing rain. The baggy jeans act like a parachute in the wind, a testament of fashion where the rules have all been pinned. We mix the heavy cotton with the lightweight shell, walking through the purgatory, styling out of hell. So keep your tight collars and your highly priced slacks. I'm stepping in the baggy denim, covering my tracks. A legendary era stitched into the very scene. The ultimate expression of the heavy concrete dream. Stepping on the concrete, 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 concrete. Stepping on the God. Rolling down the avenue. Rolling Yeah, rolling down the avenue looking for a thread. Yo. Yeah, rolling down the avenue looking for a thread. Rolling down the avenue looking for a thread. Not the high-end boutiques where the luxury is fed. I'm pulling the Villa right behind a thrift store lot, hunting for the heavy fabric that the neighborhood forgot. They chasing after labels, spending thousands on the name, but I'm building up my wardrobe like a custom metal frame. A hand-me-down oversized faded denim jacket. I stitch a different collar on, stepping out the bracket. No mannequins dictate the way I gotta dress. I pull a flannel from the pile and I clean up the mess. Baggy cargo pants dragging slightly on the heel. It ain't about the price tag, it's about the way you feel. I mix the surplus camel with a solid heavy boot, looking like a general preparing for the route. A pocket full of patches, iron them up on the chest, taking secondhand cotton, turning it into the best. A pair of scuffed up boots, scrub them to the leather shine. I take a basic silhouette and make the whole design mine. They laughing at the origin but staring at the fit. When I walk into the room, everybody gotta sit. I hold a two-piece cue, chalking up the perfect shot in a vintage track jacket that I customized and bought for a couple crumpled dollars in a pocket full of change. My aesthetic is a weapon and I got a longer range. We couldn't afford the runway, so we made the block the stage, turning raggedy apparel to a brand new golden age. I bleached the bottom cuffs, let the heavy fabric fray, creating my own uniform to navigate the day. I cut the sleeves off, leave the edges looking raw, a walking masterpiece defying every fashion law. With a heavy silver chain resting cold against the fleece, I'm a puzzle put together from a disconnected piece. You see the colors clashing, but the harmony is tight. A visionary walking through the middle of the night. They wearing uniform conformity straight off the rack, but I'm digging through the crates and I'm bringing vintage back. A beanie pulled down low, covering the midnight fade, living in the masterpiece that my own two hands made. It's the alchemy of style, turning copper into gold, taking everything discarded, making it completely bold. A pair of baggy corduroys, tailored at the waist, showing all these imitators how to demonstrate the taste. I ain't a walking billboard for a corporate design, I'm a customized original, stepping on the line. So let the upper class keep the highly priced attire. I'm walking through the avenue and setting it on fire. A legendary silhouette crafted from the dust, and the needle in the thread is the only thing I trust. We took the hand-me-down, added attitude and grit, and forced the whole world to acknowledge the fit. Yeah. Rolling down the avenue looking for a thread. Rolling down the avenue looking for a thread. Twisting the dial through the static in the hiss, searching for the frequency that the mainstream miss. Cruising the concrete late night in the heavy suburban, tuning to the local DJ dropping a sermon. Corporate towers pushing out the same 10 tracks, but we looking for the wax with the heavy attacks. The signal fading in and out across the city grid, popping in a blanket set just like I did as a kid. He broadcasting live from a basement on the block, working the two turntables around the clock. No corporate sponsors telling him what he should play, just breaking raw records until the break of the day. You hear the crackle of the mic, the gritty transmission, a solitary brother on a musical mission, keeping the underground breathing, feeding the street with a heavily distorted, undeniable beat. They're trying to shut him down, bring the FCC, but he relocates the antenna, keeping the airspace free. I pull the Impala over just to soak in the sound, the only authentic voice operating in town. He shouts out the neighborhoods, reading the mail, giving hope to the brothers sitting locked in the jail. Ain't no $1 million studio, just egg carton phone, but he makes the whole metropolis feel like a home. We call in the requests on a rotary phone, sitting in the dark, letting the speakers be blown. He dropping the instrumentals, letting the logo spit. This is the crucible where the realest fires are lit. The major labels paying money to monopolize, but the pirate radio is opening everybody's eyes. A beacon of truth cutting through the commercial noise, supported by the dedicated girls and the boys. They trying to shut them down. Yo, trying to shut them down. The dash Dashboard glowing green under the midnight sky. Watching the analog needle steadily slide by. You hit the exact number and the baseline drops. The sanctuary of rhythm, dodging the local cops. We gotta protect the host, the guardian of the crate, the one who dictates the pulse and the cultural rate. He ain't doing it for the paper or the diamond ring. He's royalty upon the pavement, one of the kings. So raise up a glass to the independent wave, the only frequency that the culture managed to save. I got the volume maxed out, rolling down the glass, letting the heavy vibrations hit the people that pass. As long as the transmitter catches the cold air, the voice of the voiceless is always gonna be there. A revolution broadcasted on the FM dial, giving the whole suffocated city your reason to smile. Trying to shut them down. Elevate yourself. Elevate yourself. Elevate yourself. Rolling heavy down the boulevard, creeping in the Tahoe. Midnight shadows dropping where the broken street lamps glow. Concrete jungle rumbling, tension thick inside the air. Rival cruisers stepping up where the icy silence stare. But we ain't pulling triggers, leave the iron out of sight. We got a different kind of weapon for the rhythm of the night. I'm rolling thick linoleum, smooth it on the avenue. This is how we handle beef, this is what the legends do. Baseline kicking like a mule, rattling the window frames. No more sirens in the distance, no more playing deadly games. Drop the needle on the wax, let the break beat loop. Watch the heavy hitters gathering, circle in the group. Step into the center if your footwork is supreme. We trading out the nightmare for a better kind of dream. He hits a 6-step, sliding smooth across the grain. Sweat is pouring down his forehead like the heavy April rain. Ain't no need for paramedics, ain't no yellow tape. Just a physical expression and an angular escape. You got a problem with my crew? Take it to the floor, let the rhythm be the judge. We don't need a bloody war, popping every single muscle, locking joints into a freeze, defying gravity. You're moving with a sudden summer breeze. We take the anger of the block, channel it to art. Every power move is driven by the fire in the heart.
The windmill spinning, throwing dust into the sky. A masterclass of motion, catching everybody's eye.
Yeah, back in the day, this corner was a designated trap. Now we settle every difference over heavy booming bap. The sneaker squeaker symphony, a language of the street, communicating dominance through the shuffling of feet. No collateral damage, mother sleeping sound at home while the b-boys hold a court up on the asphalt throne. From the flare to the headspin, balancing the soul, keeping all the reckless animosity inside control. This is the arena where the true respect is earned, where the bridges stay intact and the neighborhoods ain't burned. So let the speakers blow out, let the turntable spin. Ain't nobody losing life, but somebody's gotta win. We shake hands when it's over, nod our heads and walk away, knowing we gonna survive to see another breaking day. The culture is a lifesaver, reaching in the dark, pulling brothers from the edge, leaving a creative mark. Keep the rhythm in your spirit, let it guide the heavy hands. A universal peace treaty stretching out across the lands. Next time you feel the friction, put the weapons on the shelf and prove you got the stamina to elevate yourself. Elevate yourself. Elevate yourself. Elevate yourself. Chalk squeaks heavy on the blackboard slate. Teacher talking history, but I can't concentrate. Got the textbook propped up, hiding what's inside. My personal sanctuary where the letters reside. A spiral-bound black book resting on the desk, turning boring mathematics to the wild and grotesque. I grip the yellow pencil graphite on the white, planning out a masterpiece I'm throwing up tonight. The clock ticks slow, snapping like a hi-hat while I'm bending up the vowels, making all the letters fat. Adding three-dimensional shadows, dropping down the block, working on my wild style, racing with the clock. They talking about fractions in the capitals of states, but I'm connecting the arrows, opening the gates. An architectural genius within the racer in the lab, putting down the vivid visions running through my head. The angles that are locked, the curves are looking sharp, playing with the geometry like a heavy metal harp. The teacher turns around, I flip the page back fast, pretending I'm paying attention to the boring class. Nodding at the lecture, putting on the grand disguise, but I got a concrete canvas reflecting in my eyes. Underneath the desk, the culture is alive, building up a legacy, learning to survive. I ain't studying the syllabus, I study the design, perfecting the symmetry on every single line. A kingdom of the alphabet hidden in the math, paving out a secret underground path. You see your quiet kids staring blankly into space, but mentally I'm bombing a heavily guarded place. I trace the sharp edges, make the bottom heavy set, crafting up a signature they never will forget. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of nerves to engineer a font that the neighborhood observes, making sure the overlap's perfect to connect, commanding total silence, demanding the respect. A drop shadow, a drop shadow, drop shadow. A drop shadow falls, the perspective is profound. The heaviest aesthetics that the underground found. I visualize the krylon, the rust-oleum spray, but for now it's just the graphite passing time away. I rub the paper down, smudging out the gray tone, sitting in a crowded room but operating on my own. The bell is gonna ring in another 10 minutes, pushing my eye imagination past the outer limits. I shade the final corner, blow the eraser dust, and the letters and the outlines is the only thing I trust. They're grading on a curve, I'm grading on a flow, taking this typography everywhere I go, so let the teacher drone in a monotone voice. I already made my educational choice, a scholar of the street sitting in the back row, cooking up the visuals, getting ready for the show. The notebook is a weapon, the pages are the clip, taking all the alphabet on a revolutionary trip. Yeah. Sitting in the corner while the tape deck spins, watching all these imitators committing the sins. Biting off the cadences, stealing all the breath, riding on another man's rhythm to the death. They sounding like a photocopy faded in the ink, never taking half a second just to sit and think. I hear the same delivery, the same exact pitch, falling in the trap, stuck inside a shallow ditch. But I'm gripping on the notepad, staring at the lines, refusing to participate in duplicate designs. I'm digging for the marrow, the center of the bone. I'd rather be a silent king sitting on the throne than a loudmouth parrot mimicking the radio show. I need a brand new current for the heavy words to flow. No carbon copy syllables, no tracing on the glass. I'm sitting in the shadows while the counterfeits pass. I lock the bedroom door, shut the window blind, embarking on a journey to the center of the mind. A metronome ticking on the wooden deck shelf. The only way to master it is mastering yourself. I try a rapid triplet, but it feels like a lie. I stretch the vowels out to see if it can fly. It takes 100 hours just to find the proper pocket, wiring up the energy and plugging in the socket. I'm stripping down the alphabet, breaking every rule, unlearning all the habits that they handed me in school. My vocal cords are heavy, adapting to the grit. I cross a whole page out and then I rewrite it. The breathing is the secret, the pause is just as loud as shouting through a megaphone into a massive crowd. I gotta find a fingerprint, a sonic DNA, a rhythm that nobody else could ever take away. You hear the silence working right between the heavy kicks. I'm laying my foundation with my own custom bricks. It ain't about the speed, it ain't about the complex. It's about the raw emotion coming through the vocal flex. I stumble on a cadence that is slightly off the beat, but somehow it perfectly resonates with the street. It's a limp in the step, swagger in the walk, the authentic rhythm, how the neighborhood talk. I polish up the rough edge, claiming it is mine. A solitary architect designing the divine. When the microphone is on, they know who's stepping up. Spilling my own liquor from a personalized cup. Let the clones chase the trends, riding on the wave. I'm building up a legacy I'm taking to the grave. My flow is like a thumbprint pressed upon the wax, leaving no confusion when I'm laying down the tracks. The original blueprint, immune to the decay, paving my own avenue and doing it my way. So let the tape rewind, let the tape record. My style is my identity, my shield and my sword. The fingertips resting on the edge of the wax. Heavy breath exhale before laying the tracks. The room goes quiet, just the hum of the amp. A flickering shadow from a basement lamp. Hovering the tone arm, steady and precise. The calm before the storm, holding cold as ice. Then the diamond tip dives deep into the groove. A sudden spark of lightning making everybody move. That initial hiss, the static in the pop. The raw analog friction right before the drop. Flick the wrist back, let the crossfader bleed. Planting heavy rhythm like a deeply rooted seed. It's a sorcery of sound on a circular stage. Unlocking ancient spirits from a vinyl cage. A screech in the wail as the record spins reverse. Breaking through the silence like a resurrected curse. Transforming dusty noise to a symphony of bass. Echoes bouncing heavy all around the physical space. The slip mat glides beneath the pressure of the hand. Summoning a tremor that consumes the whole land. No spells, no potions, just the wax and the steel. The truest type of magic that a brother can feel. When the heavy kick hits and the G-funk whines. We're speaking to the streets right between the rigid lines. Watch the DJ's eyes lock into the spin. Yeah. Watch the DJ's eyes lock into the spin. Yeah. Watch the DJ's eyes locked into the spin. Calculating moments where the new worlds begin. Back and forth, cutting up the phrase. Manipulating time through a cryptographic haze. The fader clicks shut, then it opens with a flash. Transforming solid plastic into thunder and ash. You can feel the room tilt. Gravity bends right where the journey starts and the logic ends. A ritual performed in the dim lit hood where the bad turns good through the black and wood. The turntable platter is an altar of sound where the true disciples of the culture are found. We ain't talking digital, we talking pure heat. The friction of the needle hitting hard on the beat. Every tiny scratch tells a story of the night when the underground kings used to gather and fight. Not with the steel, but with skill on the decks. Commanding total awe and demanding respects. The dust motes dance in the column of light as the heavy bass rumbles through the heart of the night. You put your ear to the speaker, let the frequency drown every single trouble of a suffocated town. A black circle spinning like a UFO landed, leaving all the skeptics and the haters empty-handed. The platter keeps spinning, 33 in the third, translating the emotion without speaking a word. Every single scratch is a spark in the dark, leaving a permanent, undeniable mark. We bend in time itself every time the needle jumps, feeling every heartbeat when the subwoofer bumps. A ritual, a rhythm happening upon the decks, commanding total silence and demanding the respects. Just a heavy piece of plastic in the metal needle head, waking up the echoes of the legend to a bled. So watch the DJ manipulate the fabric of the time, creating a foundation for a visionary rhyme. Feel the vibration climbing up through the floor, hitting every listener straight to the core. The magic is real when the speaker cones flex. No telling what's coming on the sequence next. Just an endless loop of raw, unadulterated soul, taking over bodies and taking total control. From the first scratch sound to the fading of the fade. This is the religion that the underground made. Drop the tone arm heavy, let the magic unfold. Turn it, simple vinyl into multi-layered gold. Riding shotgun in the five. Riding shotgun in the 5.0, listening to the tape hiss, reminiscing on the pure essence that we truly miss. Everybody on the corner trying to be a fashion plate, worrying about the wardrobe, arriving at the cipher late. They got the heavy medallions blinding out the neighborhood, but they can't spit a single stanza that is any good. It used to be about the break beat, dusty on the wax. Now it's just a masquerade, walking on the rhythm tracks. I see them posing in the mirrors, fixing up their hair, but when the microphone is open, ain't nobody there. Just an empty shell coated in a layer of the gold, selling out the culture before the record is even sold. We used to battle for the soul, bleeding on the concrete. Now they just checking out the brand of sneakers on the feet. The substances evaporating, floating in the air, replaced by the artificial attitude and empty stare. I'm chalking up the two-piece, aiming for the corner break, thinking about the sacrifices that the legends used to make. They didn't have a stylist, didn't have a tailored suit. They just had a heavy message in the rugged combat boot. Now it's all about the posture, the image image and the gleam, trading out the heavy substance for a shallow kind of dream. I sit and write my thesis on the rhythm and the drum, wondering exactly where this visual obsession came from. The radio is crowded with the mannequins of sound, while the true philosophers are buried in the underground. You step into the booth, but you got nothing real to say, just bragging about the currency you threw away today. The pioneers are weeping at the state of the affair, watching all the poetry vanish in the thin air. It ain't about how bright you shine underneath the spot, it's about the heavy lyrics and the knowledge that you got. Take me back to the park jams. Down, 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 down. Take me back to the park jams. Take me back to the park jams. Power from the street light, rhyming for the pure respect deep into the summer night. Nobody cared about the logo stitched upon your chest. It was all about the breath control and passing up the test. You had to have the poetry to captivate the crowd. Now they just wearing flashy colors, acting extra loud. I'm digging in the crates, looking for the missing soul, watching all these artificial players lose the control. The rhythm is a spirit, it was never just a look. It's the blood inside the vein, it's the pages in the book. So keep your shiny accessories, keep your empty fame. I'm riding with the architects who actually built the game. The essence of the pavement, the absolute and raw, defying every single superficial industry law. When the cameras are off and the wardrobe is gone, the real ones keep the heavy beat playing on and on. Riding shotgun, gun, gun. The basement is sweating. The basement is sweating, moisture dripping from the pipe. The DJ got the vinyl when the energy is right. No elbows throwing, we ain't looking for a brawl. Just 100 different shadows bouncing off the brick wall. The needle hits the wax and the frequency is low. A tidal wave of rhythm making everybody flow. You look across the room, it's a unified sea, moving to the heavy kick, acting in the synergy. I park the Chevy Impala right outside in the dark, just to step inside the cypher and ignite the spark. The snare drum smacks like a heavyweight glove, a physical reaction to the culture that we love. Watch the neck snap back when the bass line drops, a hypnotic heavy groove that simply never stops. We breathing in the smoke, exhaling out the stress. A massive congregation in the state of the finesse. From the front row soldiers to the brothers in the back, everybody locked in on the boom in the back. The vibration traveling from the floor to the spine, leaving every single trouble and the worries behind. The speakers are vibrating and pushing in to the chest, putting every single speaker cabinet to the test. It's a pendulum swing side to side, up and down. The most aggressive meditation operating in town. Nobody speaking words, the communication is deep. A collective consciousness waking up from the sleep. You feel it in the jaw, you feel it in the bone. 1,000 different individuals inside the zone, but acting as a single entity upon the floor, demanding that the DJ turn it up a little more. The hats are ticking fast, the bass is dragging slow. The absolute perfection of a legendary show. The rhythm is a pendulum, swinging left to right, capturing the total essence of the underground night. The head nod is a language, a universal sign that the poetry and rhythm perfectly align. I see the homies in the corner with the baggy gear, nodding to the heavy kick drum that is crystal clear. No VIP sections, no velvet rope divide, just a massive human ocean on the musical ride. The subwoofers humming like a massive V8, determining the temperature and setting the rate. We shut the whole block down, shaking up the ground. The undisputed champions of the heavy sound. A synchronized army moving strictly to the beat, bringing all the heavy friction from the cold street. Sweat is pouring down, but the net keeps working in the shadows of the club where the real ones lurking. It's a spiritual connection when the heavy kick thumps, taking over the adrenaline that rapidly pumps. This is the religion, the congregation of the raw, breaking every physical and gravitational law. So let the bass roll out, let the heavy drums crash while we moving in the dark amidst the lightning flash. The culture is a heartbeat, steady in the chest, and this heavy synchronized motion is the ultimate test. The ultimate test. Yeah, the heavy kick drum needs no dictionary to translate. The heavy kick drum needs the heavy kick drum needs no dictionary to translate. It crosses over borders, entering a foreign state. I drop a heavy snare out the window of the ride, a universal frequency that cannot be denied. You don't need to speak the slang to feel the heavy bass. It resonates the same inside a totally different place. From the concrete of Brooklyn to a Tokyo street, the whole entire planet moving to the exact same beat. We speaking the percussion, communicating kicks, a language constructed from the analog bricks. A head nod is a handshake, a universal sign that the rhythm and the spirit are perfectly aligned. No translators needed when the DJ cuts the scratch. It's a global phenomenon, a fire and a match. You see a kid in Paris with the baggy cargo pants. He doesn't know the alphabet but understands the stance. A cassette tape traveling across the ocean foam, making every foreign neighborhood feel exactly like home. The politicians build the walls and draw the borderlines, but the music navigates through the underground designs. I met a brother overseas, couldn't understand his tongue, but we both knew the cadence that the legends had sung. We traded heavy tapes, not into the same groove, watching how the heavy bass made the whole building move. The rhythm is a passport stamp with the truth, a global sanctuary for the misunderstood youth that travels on the wind, bouncing off the atmosphere, making every complex emotion suddenly appear clear. You might not catch the metaphor, you might not catch the rhyme, but you feel the heavy impact of the rhythm and the time. The pain is universal, the struggle is the same, whether you in the Bronx or dealing with a foreign name. The boombox is an embassy, the speaker is the flag, carrying the culture in the heavy duffel bag. I see the graffiti written on a European train, a perfect replica of the original domain. We tore the language barrier completely to the ground and unified the globe with a heavy underground sound. It's a telepathic network built upon the drum, a sanctuary for the places where the outcasts are from. When the needle hits the groove, the translation is complete. A worldwide congregation stepping out into the street. So let the record spin and let the melody expand, a solitary rhythm connecting every single land. The cadence is a bridge across the water in the tide, a monumental movement on a continental ride. From the blocks of the west coast to a distant hemisphere, the philosophy of hip-hop is undeniably here. We took the local poetry and gave it to the earth, a beautiful explosion and a legendary birth. No syllables required when the heavy bass drops, the international momentum that simply never stops. I'm sending out this frequency across the entire globe, a unifying message underneath the winter coat. The greatest conversation that was ever being had, written on the pages of a crumpled yellow pad. Yellow pad, yellow pad, yellow pad, yellow pad, yellow pad, yellow pad. Make the heavy, 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 heavy. Make the heavy, 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 Cracking the spine on the plastic, the jewel case snaps, unveiling the scripture, the blueprint of the heavy raps, the glossy accordion folding right out in my palm, a sudden rush of adrenaline breaking the midnight calm, squinting my eyes at the microphone printed in black, while the optical beam reads every groove on the track. Ain't no skipping the interludes, I study the whole frame, learning the syllabus, entering the heart of the game. The disc spinning rapid, rotating heavy and sleek, I'm matching the cadence, anticipating the peak, a scholar of syllables locked in the bedroom alone, absorbing the frequencies coming straight from the throne. I trace the vocabulary word after rigorous word, making sure that my dictation is perfectly heard. They spat it in Brooklyn, they recorded it out in Queens. Now I'm reciting the grit while I'm ripping the denim jeans, flipping the page 4, scanning the middle 8 bars, translating the metaphors, aiming directly for stars. The boom boxes rattling, batteries running on low, but I gotta master the breathing, the speed, and the flow. It's a pure obsession, a ritual done in the dark, memorizing the venom, the bite, and the visceral bark. Acapella in the mirror, watching my own lips move, syncing the attitude up with the heavyweight groove. I study the ad-libs, the coughs, and the background noise, distinguishing absolute kings from the regular boys. The paper is creasing, the corners are getting so frayed from all of the hours of dedication that I silently paid. You think it's just music? To me, it's a sacred scroll. The ink on the page taking hold of my entire soul. No fast forward buttons, digesting every damn line till the rhythm and poetry fully intertwined with my spine. They shouting out projects, shouting out boroughs I lack, but I feel the cold concrete every time I run it back. I check out the credits to see who was lacing releasing the kick. Learning the architects, laying down a sonic brick. Reciting the chorus while I'm walking down on the Ave. Holding the greatest possession a young brother could have. A mind full of poetry, razor sharp on the beat. Ready to cipher and battle whoever I happen to meet. Cause I didn't just listen, I swallowed the whole entire text. Analyzing the structure to see what was coming up next. The CD might scratch and skip on a heavy bass drop, but the lyrics inside of my cranium never will stop. The booklet is battered, stained with the sweat and the time, but I perfectly captured the essence of every rhyme. A testament written in glossy foldable sheets. The ultimate manual built for surviving the streets. The radiator hissing in the middle of the cold. Yeah. The radiator hissing in the middle of the cold. The radiator hissing in the middle of the cold. Yeah. Yo. The radiator hissing in the middle of the cold. Watching you carry your burden that never gets old. I see the tide lines resting heavy on your face, but you always manage to provide a saving grace. Working double shifts just to keep the water running, while the landlords and the bill collectors kept on coming. You were stretching out $1 till it tore in two, making sure the winter wind never made it safely through. I remember waking up in the middle of the night, seeing you at the kitchen table in the yellow light, counting out the pennies, rubbing your exhausted eyes, hiding all the struggle with the sweetest compromise. You gave me your portion when the cabinets were bare, showing me the definition of a mother's heavy care. Never took a day off, never took a break to breathe, weaving up a tapestry of love I could believe. I was running in the streets, navigating through the maze, while you was looking out the window through the midnight haze, praying for my safety, waiting for the heavy door, pacing back and forth across the faded wooden floor. I was blind to the sacrifice, blinded by the pride, but you were my protector and my universal guide. You scrubbed the heavy floors, watched the secondhand clothes, brushing off the dirt and healing up the heavy blows. When the fever had me shaking, sweating in the bed, you were sitting right beside me with a cold rag on my head, singing ancient melodies to chase the ghosts away, turning every pitch black night into a brighter day. No diamond ring shining, no pearls around the neck, just the golden type of soul demanding absolute respect. You taught me how to stand when the gravity was strong, teaching me the difference between the right and the wrong. They build the monuments for soldiers falling in the war, but the mothers in the struggle are the ones I'm rooting for. You the architect of everything I ever became, the only reason that I carry an honorable name. I took the lessons from the kitchen to the concrete block, learning how to weather every single heavy shock, because I saw the resilience burning in your eyes, the ultimate protector under suffocated skies. So I'm pouring out the liquor for the tears that you wept, and the thousands of the heavy nights you never even slept. Every single rhyme I write is a tribute to the queen, the strongest human being that my eyes have ever seen. I owe you every breath, owe you every single step, for the unconditional love that you always kept. The rhythm is a thank you, echoing across the beat, laying all my gratitude directly at your feet.
The radiator, then in the middle of the cold. The radiator, then in the middle of the cold.
Digging through the crates in the shadows of the den, smelling that old cardboard, wondering where it's been. Stack of dusty covers sitting heavy on the floor. My pops used to play him till he couldn't play no more. Silhouettes of saxophones and trumpets in the smoke, a testament to rhythm every time the elder spoke. I pull a piece of wax out the yellow paper sleeve, dropping down the needle, giving it a chance to breathe. The crackle in the pop, it's a time machine of sound, bringing all the spirits of the ancestors around. A smooth, upright bass, walking steady in the groove. I'm sitting on the carpet just watching the needle move. I take that classic elegance and drag it to the lab, hook it to the sampler, ready for the rhythmic stab. I pitch the tempo down, make it heavy, make it raw, chopping up the piano like a criminal outlaw. We take a little Coltrane,
Slice it on the beat,
giving it a gritty resurrection for the street. Layer up the kick drum,
hitting like a heart,
tearing that old symphony completely all apart, just to put it back together with a heavier bass. bass, adding that G-funk flavor to the velvet space. A high-pitched whistle riding right above the horn. That's exactly how a brand new legacy is born.
My mother used to cook to the rhythm of the brass. Now I'm dropping rhymes on the very same glass. It's a generational bridge built upon the break. A musical concoction only history can make. The snare drum snaps right exactly where the hi-hats glide. Taking all that vintage sorrow on a brand new ride. I grab the microphone and I bless the muddy loop, feeding pure nutrition to the corners in the stoop. The jazz was for the loungers in the smoky cabaret, but we put it in the boombox, blasting through the day. It's a renaissance of soul with a different kind of swing, where the underground poets are the pavement king.
You hear the trumpet wailing? That's the pain of the past. I flip it to a head nod, building it to last. They played it in the 60s when the tension was thick. I play it in the 90s with a mathematical trick. The rhythm is a river flowing straight into the youth.
We just translating the pain,
speaking on the truth. From the East Coast concrete to the sunny Western Shore, we knocking on the hinges of a revolutionary door. The vinyl never dies, it just reinvents the shape,
captured in the magnetic ribbon of a tape.
Every single scratch is a tribute to the greats who laid
the foundation while we open up the gate. So let the upright bass keep walking in the dark, leaving a permanent, undeniable mark. We honor every legend that was pressing on the wax by putting heavy poetry across the rhythmic tracks. The jazz is in the blood, the hip-hop in the bone, taking what they gave us and claiming the throne. A seamless transition from the old to the new. Respect to the parents and the musical crew. The needle finds a groove, and the cycle spins again. A masterpiece of rhythm underneath the fountain pen.
Then we heard the heavy drum. Standing on the corner where the street lights flicker out. A whole generation full of anger and the doubt. Teachers in the classroom looking right through the kids, closing up their futures, putting heavy metal lids on the dreams of the young, tossing potential away, telling every teenager they ain't got nothing to say. We were invisible shadows walking the cold pavement, trapped inside a psychological enslavement. The politicians speaking, but they never knew the name of a kid in the project who was carrying the blame. Looking at the skyline, feeling utterly small, just another statistic written in chalk on the wall. But the frustration was brewing deep in the chest, a silent heavy heartbeat begging for requests. We didn't have a platform, didn't have a grand stage, just a pocket full of nothing and a whole lot of rage. Then we heard the heavy drum breaking through the cold air, a boombox blasting on the project concrete stairs. Someone grabbed the microphone, plugged it in the amp, rhyming in the darkness by a halogen lamp. Suddenly the silence was completely ripped apart. We found a brand new language speaking directly to the heart. The culture was a megaphone handed to the youth, a rhythm and a poetry constructed from the truth. We took the pain of the block, put it right on the snare, and forced the whole establishment to turn around and stare. No more being quiet, no more taking the abuse. The hip-hop element was the ultimate excuse to stand up on a stoop and yell it to the sky, looking every single doubter directly in the eye. The kids who couldn't focus on the textbook math, or calculating syllables and blazing a path. Now the cassette tape circulating all around the zone, every single teenager claiming a piece of the throne, writing down the poetry in a crumpled up pad, expressing every emotion that they ever have had. It ain't just a heavy beat, it's a therapy session, a glorious escape from the daily oppression. The authorities panic when the youth gets loud, seeing all the unity inside the massive crowd. We went from being nobodies ignored in the street to legendary poets floating over the beat. The news anchors talking about the rebel attitude, but they never understand the depth of the gratitude for a culture that caught us when we started to fall and handed us a marker to go right on the wall. Our voices echoing heavy from the east to the west, a permanent reminder that we passed every test. But then we heard the heavy drum Yeah. Yeah. The hour hand spinning on the analog clock. Sitting with the brothers on the edge of the block. A lot of faces vanished when the weather got cold, but the genuine connections never ever get old. I'm looking at the circle, keeping the perimeter tight. Underneath the halo of the yellow street light, we step inside the hall where the heavy smoke hangs. Escaping from the pressure in the neighborhood fangs. I unscrewed the case, pulled the two-piece cube, chalking up the tip while I'm talking to the crew. We setting up the pyramid, racking the spheres, washing down the memories and pouring the cheers. No counterfeit smiles, no venomous lies, just the undeniable truth looking back in the eyes. We used to split $1, sharing up a single slice, rolling through the avenue and rolling the dice. Some got caught up in the heavy concrete trap, some disappeared completely off the geographic map. But the ones who stood solid through the pouring rain are the brothers that I carry in my heavy brain. The loyalty is currency heavier than the gold, a sacred type of covenant that cannot be sold. You can measure out the wealth by the paper in the bank, but I measure my success by the brothers in the rank. We survived the heavy winters when the radiators froze, watching how the universal narrative goes. I passed the heavy bottle, let it circle the room, a sanctuary hidden from the city in the gloom. When the gravity gets heavy and the shoulders get weak, these are the exact same individuals I seek. No explaining required, they already know the deal. In unspoken language that is viscerally real, the two-piece strikes heavy on the table break, determining the future and the paths that we take. I line up the shot, taking aim at the green, the most authentic circle that the city has seen. It's the quality of time, not the quantity of men. If I lose it all today, we will build it up again. They say the blood is thicker than the water in the glass, but the pavement creates a totally different class. A family chosen by the struggle and the strife, walking side by side through the labyrinth of life. The seasons keep shifting, the autumn and the spring, but the brotherhood we carry is a permanent thing. I look across the felt at the faces in the dim, knowing every single one will go out on a limb. We don't need a mansion or a luxury suite, just a corner to assemble where the real ones meet. The echoes of the laughter bouncing off the brick wall, standing undefeated, never planning to fall. I cherish every second that the clock allows, honoring the unspoken, unbreakable vows. When the final pocket drops and the game is complete, we step back out into the rhythm of the street. No destination needed, no agenda to push, just navigating through the heavy metropolitan bush. A legendary bond that the weather couldn't rust. In a world full of shadows, it's the only thing I trust. So let the jazzy bass line walk upon the track. As long as I am breathing, I got every brother's back. Sunsets on the Pacific. Sunsets. Sunsets on the Pacific, bouncing in the 6'4", concrete cold in Brooklyn, stepping through the corner door. We traded too much blood, spilling out across the map, over territory lines in the middle of a rap. Let the heavy bass line from the California streets merge with the gritty snares of the East Coast beats. I see the low riders gliding right beside the subway trains, washing out the rivalry, flushing out the pains. Put the Timberlands down right next to the trucks. No more hiding in the shadows, no more dodging in the trucks. From the boroughs to the beaches, let the synthesizers glide with the heavy boom bap kicking on the same damn ride. We built this code together from the vinyl and the scratch. Ain't no reason for the fire, ain't no reason for the match. The paper spun the narrative, feeding on the fuel, but the streets are waking up, changing up the mood. Past the peace from New York all the way to LA. Watch the tension dissolve and the anger fade away. Got the palm trees swaying to a Staten Island groove. When the coasts come together, watch the whole world move. No more cross-country static, no more disrespect. Just a coast-to-coast alliance that the elders protect. We dropping knowledge and rhythm, putting differences aside, taking a continental journey on a unified ride. Whether freezing in the Bronx or blazing in the heat, the universal language is pumping through the street. Let the G-funk whistle meet the scratching on the brakes, leaving a legacy of peace for the history it makes. So raise a glass to the legends looking down from the clouds, hearing the harmony ringing through the massive crowds. We lock hands across the nation, breaking the divide, east and west, standing tall, riding side by side. Yo, walking through the ruins of the Bronx in the mind, leaving all the superficial glory behind. I'm opening the history, blowing off the dust, studying the architects that gave us the trust. Before the diamond chains and the platinum plaque, it was 2 turntables and the microphone jack. Stealing heavy voltage from the avenue light, just to keep the park jam rocking into the night. I pull a faded photograph out of the sleeve, seeing all the pioneers making the city believe. The merry-go-round, catching the break on the wax, building up an empire on the absolute facts. They took the funk record, found the heavy drum loop, and created a religion on a concrete stoop. No corporate sponsors, no industry deals, just a crate full of vinyl and a stainless steel of a mix of crossfader cutting back and forth, sending heavy shockwaves from the south to the north. I sit and read the chronicles, reading the names of the universal masters who constructed the games. From the Zulu nation to the Sedgwick block, they taught a whole generation exactly how to rock. I analyzed the blueprint, studying the foundation, how they took a local movement to a worldwide nation. The grandmaster spinning with the quickest wrist, creating an escape from the danger and the fist. The original MCs controlling the crowd, speaking over break beats, energetic and loud. It wasn't about the ego, it was all about the skill, manifesting destiny with a heavy iron will. I bow my head down to the fathers of the style, who walked through the fire for a country mile. Before the television camera started to pan, it was strictly for the love of the fellow man. You gotta know the roots if you wanna grow the tree. You gotta know the dark before you claim you can see. I'm digging in the archives, tracing the sound to the deepest heavy basements of the underground. They laid the pavement down so we could smoothly drive, sacrifice the blood and sweat to keep it alive. Every time I grip the mic, I feel the ancient ghost of the legendary brothers who were doing the most. I'm carrying the torch with a reverent grip, taking all the listeners on a historical trip. We owe a massive debt to the ones who came before, who battered down the hinges of the industry door. I memorized the battles in the take cassette trays, the foundation of the culture that never ever fades. So let the needle drop on the classical break and recognize the history that we gotta remake. Respect to the elements, the pillars of the street, the fathers of the culture and the kings of the beat. I pledge allegiance to the rhythm, keeping it raw and upholding every single original law. Yeah. The sun comes up and the sun comes up and the pavement starts to heat. The sun comes up and the pavement starts to heat. Another morning grinding on this heavy concrete. I'm looking at the blueprint, trying to build a foundation, a masterclass of struggle and the daily motivation. They say the road is narrow and the obstacles are tall, but I'm laying down the metal for a 2.7 wall. Piece by piece, getting every single angle right, working through the shadows of the heavy city night. It's all about the structure, framing up the mind, leaving all the doubts and the poverty behind. I wipe the sweat down, breathing in the cold air, knowing that the universe is rarely playing fair. But I do it for the bloodline, do it for the name, not for the applause or the temporary fame. I walk inside the crib, turn the heavy lock key, my girl on the couch catching up on TV. The screen glowing soft in the middle of the room, chasing out the darkness in the heavy city gloom. She the anchor in the storm when the hurricane spin, reminding me exactly why I'm always gonna win. I take my heavy boots off, leave them at the door, thinking about the ancestors who walked upon this floor. We carry on a legacy, the strength inside the bone, building up a castle from a heavy cornerstone. Every drop of sweat is a payment for the peace, hoping that the struggle and the suffering will cease. They tell you that the destiny is written in the stars, but I'm writing out my future through these heavy rhythm bars. I analyze the thesis of the life I wanna lead, planting every action like a deeply rooted seed. A lot of brothers folded when the pressure got too deep, but I got promises and heavy vows I gotta keep for the family table, for the roof above the head, earning every dollar, breaking of the daily bread. I'm navigating potholes, dodging all the traps, filling up the empty spaces in the geographic maps. You gotta have a vision when you looking in the glass, knowing that the pain and the heavy rain will pass. I hold my head high when the temperature drop, climbing up the mountain and I'm aiming for the top. So let the heavy bass line rumble in the chest, a testament to giving it the absolute best. We laying down the drywall, covering the frame, leaving our initials right inside the heavy game. The hustle is a marathon, steady with the pace, pace, maintaining the respect and the dignity and grace. My woman right beside me, holding down the fort. A solid type of love that you can never ever abort. It's family first, everything else is secondary. Writing our own history inside a sanctuary. The rhythm of the heart matching perfectly in time with the heavy kick drum and the poetry of rhyme. The sun comes up. Waking up before the dawn. Waking up before the dawn. Waking up. Waking up before the dawn, the radiator cold. Another heavy envelope, another story told. The past do notice vision the electric company threats. Balancing the heavy dreams against the heavy debts. I grab the keys to the hatchback, the 1.3. Switching over to the gas just to keep the travel free. The engine might be knocking, but I got places to be. Trying to manifest the vision that the world can't see. I'm writing out the thesis, studying the heavy text. Wondering exactly what the universe is dropping next. My hands are full of thermal paste. Fixing up the board just to keep the sampler breathing in the audio store. The daily grind is pulling, tying anchors to the feet. But I hear the salvation in the middle of the beat. We clocking in the hours, putting up the drywall frame just to finance the passion and to elevate the name. I meet the brothers at the shop when the daytime is done. The most reliable individuals under the sun. We popping up the hood, tweaking on the engine block, listening to the cassette while the heavy rhythms knock. They understand the paradox and struggle of the scale. When the passion is a ship and the currency is the sail. We split the meager earnings by a couple heavy drafts, ignoring all the skeptics and the condescending laughs. No counterfeits allowed, just the proven and the true. The ones who help you push the ride when the rent is due. They nod their heads heavy to the instrumental loop. A legendary brotherhood assembled on the stoop. They tell me keep the focus, the sacrifice is right. Even when the wallet empty in the middle of the night. We trade the crazy stories, washing down the daily stress. Trying to navigate the pavement and clean up the mess. I navigate the avenue, heading back to the base. Wiping all the heavy grease and the sweat off my face. I turn the heavy lock, step into the living room. Escaping from the metropolis in the heavy gloom. My girl is on the sofa wrapped up in the blanket tight, watching her favorite series in the flickering light. She smiles when I walk in, asks me how the hustle went, knowing every single dollar is practically spent. But she don't ask for diamonds, she just holds the heavy hand. The most beautiful supporter in the whole damn land. I gotta make it work, bridge the gap between the two. The heavy obligations and the art I gotta do. I lay a notepad open, write another heavy page. A quiet revolution trapped inside a metal cage. The bills are in the drawer, but the rhythm is alive. The only way a visionary brother can survive. We walking on a tightrope, balancing the whole weight, using every ounce of passion just to alter the fate. Yeah, the rain hits the window of the basement lab. Everybody on the corner trying to take a stab at the vision that I carry in my heavy mind, saying I should leave the poetry and beats behind. They laugh at the ambition, call it just a phase, telling me to settle down in the concrete maze, get a regular job, punch the heavy clock, stop trying to be a legend on a broken block. I hear the whispers and the chuckles when I walk the street. They don't understand the science of the heavy beat. They see the frayed cuffs and the faded winter coat, but they don't see the masterpiece I carefully wrote. I grip the pen tighter, pushing down the ink, standing on the edge, looking over the brink. The doubt is a poison creeping in the vein, trying to paralyze the rhythm in the heavy brain. But I strike a match, burn the negative advice. I'm willing to gamble, willing to pay the price. I drop the needle on the record, let the crackle speak. I ain't listening to the cowards cause their hearts are weak. I got a circle of the brothers sitting on the crate, the only ones who understand the heavy cultural weight. We sharing one blunt, passing around the brown bag, never letting the ambition or the energy sag. When the whole entire neighborhood was throwing shade, these are the soldiers who respected how the tracks were made. They hear the snare drum kicking and they nod their head, validating every single heavy word I said. They told me keep going when the pockets were flat, when I was contemplating hanging up the baseball hat. A proven brotherhood forged in the coldest fire, elevating up the spirit, taking it higher. They ain't yes men agreeing just to get a cut. They tell me when the rhyme is weak, they keep the circle shut. We building an empire out of dusty loops, ignoring all the gossip from the corner groups.
Let them laugh right now.
Let them laugh right, skeptics grin. Let the skeptics grin.
Laugh right now.
Let them laugh, let the skeptics grin. Let them laugh right now, let the skeptics grin. I'm turning up the bass, letting the heavy drums spin. The struggle is the fuel, the doubt is just a spark, igniting up the brilliance hidden in the dark. I chop the piano sample, pitch it to the floor, creating heavy anthems for the underground war. The pen is a chisel, sculpting out a masterpiece. I'm working till the breathing and the heartbeat cease. When they close the heavy doors, I'm climbing through the vent. Every single hour in the laboratory spent with the genuine friends, standing right by my side, protecting the vision with the undeniable pride. We gon' make it out the gutter on the strength of the sound, rising from the bottom of the heavy underground. So keep your disbelief, keep the condescending stare. I'm breathing in the rhythm of the heavy midnight air. The tape deck recording every drop of the sweat, a legendary journey that they never will forget. With the real ones beside me, keeping the focus clear, the only validation that I ever need to hear.